I love the confidence from Shedeur Sanders. Browns rookie quarterback will be making his first career start on Sunday, but eventually you got to go out on the field and back it up. Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com and the Cleveland Plain Dealer will be at that game in Las Vegas as the 2-8 Browns take on the 2-8 Raiders. We say good morning to Mary Kay and welcome back. And didn't we expect at some point this year we were going to see Shedeur Sanders play one way or the other? The dominoes were going to fall in a way. In a 17-game season with Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders, we were going to see this at some point. I'm not surprised that we're seeing it in Week 12.
We were absolutely going to see it at some point, and we know that in part because Browns owner Jimmy Haslam told us that in training camp, that the organization absolutely, that's in quotes, wanted to see both of these rookies play this season because of what they have coming up in April with those 2 first-round picks. So they had to know what they had, and this was inevitable. So at some point down the stretch here, we were going to have the Shedeur Sanders debut, and of course, it got accelerated a little bit because Dillon Gabriel suffered the concussion. So here we are, Shedeur starting in Vegas, a great setting for a primetime player like Shedeur, and I think it's going to be a show.
What was your assessment of what we saw from him in the second half of his official debut on Sunday against the Ravens?
Well, I do think it's really hard for a rookie to come in, and mind you, I've seen plenty of them over the years. I think it's hard for a rookie to come in cold off the bench and perform really well with someone else's game plan without having any first-team reps. And I wrote a column about this that posted yesterday saying, I do think he should have had some first-team reps just because he's a rookie. If you've got a veteran back there, okay, you don't need to take your first snap from the center. You can go out there and function, but I really think that he needed a few of those first team reps in practice, given that he was only one play away. Having said that, he did what he needed to do at the end of the game. I think the measure of a quarterback is, can you go out there and win the football game with the game on the line? And he put the ball into the hands of Gage Larbadan on that 3rd and 5, and that could have been the game winner, the potential game-winning touchdown right there. It was a great breakup by the cornerback, but Shedeur did what he needed to do, and I think he can build off that. I think it's a confidence booster, and now let's see what he's got in a full game.
You were the one that posed the question to Kevin Stefanski, the coach of the Browns, after Sunday's game about first-team reps for Shedeur Sanders throughout the course of the year. And when I saw the response, it was one of those where I had to read it 3 times. It's like, wait, he said none? Like, this entire time, from training camp through the preseason, through 11 weeks of the regular season, he hasn't a single rep with the first-team offense, and he's one play away from playing with the first-team offense. I've seen reporting suggesting that the whole idea was to have him not play at all this year, at least from Stefanski's standpoint. I don't know if I believe that, but it's just odd that this kid was so woefully unprepared to work with the first-team offense.
Well, they had a very intentional plan for Shedeur Sanders, and they were bringing him along in a certain kind of way because he was so far behind, just in terms of operation of a pro-style offense and the pre-snap process and all of the things that he was going to have to do when he got into a real game. So they brought him along very intentionally and very deliberately, and he's taken a ton of extra reps in practice. He has spent time with Kevin Stefanski in his office in the mornings, going over those plays, and they really are working very hard with him. In fact, they altered their whole practice schedule to make sure that he was getting the work that he needed during and after practice in the hungry dog periods. But I truly still believe that he needed just a few of those first team reps. Just take a few of those away from Dillon Gabriel, the way Dillon took a few away from Joe Flacco. Now, Joe Flacco doesn't need extra reps in practice the way that a Dillon or Shedeur did, but I still don't think that his very first pass to Jerry Jeudy should have been in a football game. If you were going to do that, then make Bailey Zappi your backup and wait for Shedeur to go into a game when he's had a full week of practice and a game plan designed for him.
And Mary Kay, this is one of the direct byproducts of drafting a quarterback in round 3 and in round 5 and keeping both of them on your final depth chart, trading Kenny Pickett and making it Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. You get into this situation, and I saw in Kevin Stefanski's response to your question about no first-team reps for Shedeur Sanders, well, we've got another rookie starter who needs the reps. That's what happens when you have 2 rookies at the top of your depth chart. Like, these things play out for the Browns, and I'm sure this is just one example of many things you've seen play out over the years that you just look at it and say, yeah, what did you think was going to happen when you put yourself in this position, this bad position in the first place?
Well, it's just such a unique situation. And it's even more unique based on the fact that you have almost a superstar 5th-round quarterback, right? This is not Dorian Thompson-Robinson. This is Shedeur Sanders, who comes with ready-made star power, bright lights, and all of the circus attention that Johnny Manziel brought back in the day. So it's definitely a very, very different situation, and it wasn't supposed to be this way. Originally, I think they truly believed this would be a redshirt year for Shedeur, but that all changed when Kenny Pickett suffered the hamstring in training camp. It just kind of had a ripple effect on the whole quarterback competition. So he gets traded, Joe moves up, then Joe leaves, and now, lo and behold, here they are starting their 5th-round pick against the Raiders on Sunday. I mean, it's just, you really couldn't make it up much better than this.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.